celestial event. No words. No words. Describe. I should have said. The poem. So beautiful. So beautiful. You need to see what I've seen. You need to see.
These are the spiritual as much as physical voyages of the Co-Federation Solar Sun-Our starship planet Earth, restored to heaven on our and every earth, as our spiritual, genealogical, local, global, universal voyager and shared her and his family community enterprise. Our new millennial year's mission to rediscover and re-understand, sustain, and explore are and all are in fact familiar new worlds of family community, of the tree of love, life, and light throughout the solar system and universe, to restore, renew, and sustain our and new life and new sustainable civilizations, past, present, retroactively, and now, rebelling, and future, always balancing, to lovingly, genealogically, and boldly become and be space-time travelers whenever and where we have interdimensional reality, all in part been before, if also never been before, in alternative space-time lines that are circles, which are of the universal EQ, IQ, and SQ continuum. Balance, combinations of the ever-expanding circle which spirals and grows, budding and blooming in space-time. Love and live enlightened, ever young, long, and prosper all both in each and every one. Engage your heart, mind, soul, and body, for we all, both in each, and each both in all, can, must, and marvelously and miraculously make it so.
In the thunderous blast, she emerges, her eyes on fire, the mighty priestess. She is risen from the nativity of Caldera. She is risen from the fires of the earth. She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
May the story of the world not unbroken. May the love of the goddess be ever in your heart.
We all are risen. I am acting intercessorily for all of you. You all are risen.
Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be.
महालक्ष्मी मृडप्रिया महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्त्वा महाशक्ति महारथी महाभोगा महेश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाबुद्धि महासिद्धि महायोगेश्वरेश्वरी महातंत्र महामंत्र महायंत्र महासना महायागक्रमाराध्या ओम महाभैरवपूजिता महेश्वर महाकल्पक महातांडव साक्षिणी महाकामेशमतिथि महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी चतुष्षष्टि उपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टि कलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टि कोटि योगिनी गणसेविता
question we got. No. No words. No words. Describe. I should have said. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. The people need to see what I've seen. They need to see.
This day I call the heavens and the earths as witnesses intercessorily for and hopefully and prayerfully not against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose love and life with light, so that you and your children may live. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not our new millennial law.
Okay. I thought it was Patricia. maybe May sunflower, who wants to turn the tea and blossom. This is Anna Marie, singing cricket, and I am Cherokee, Cheyenne, Blackfoot, and Algonquin, Dakota, and I am also a French, English, and German. Vitukuye Ayasine. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennial golden rule as the law of all the natives of the sacred ground that is Mother Earth, and all the planets of all the universes.
Welcome, children, female and male, of planet Earth, and all the children of planet Earth. My name is Estrella Marayama Rajel, one family, Tapao, Equinox, True, Q. I am a very real, everyday person, and I also am a partial reincarnation of some of the most famous women in her in history, biblical her in history, modern her in history, and pre-biblical her in history. I am the ancient priestess of Atlantis, the world's longest survived peace culture, the longest survived civilization known to human record. And I am also a direct descendant of the families of Mariama of Magdala and Mariam and Jesus of Nazareth. I have many relations who are also so connected, likely you. I am the first but not last or only cosmic Christ, or another way to put that, a human apotheosis, a human being who has become immortal. I know myself to be a space-time traveler among planets. The Statue of Liberty goddess, Estrella, who I am an embodiment of the highest priestess of that, of Atlantis, and in fact she was a goddess incarnation, and I am, is a goddess of sun and stars. She is the goddess of the universe. She loves every planet, not only Earth, but all of them. I say to you, you have heavens on earths, but you have a problem that's been getting in your way of knowing this. The problem is an anthropological system called patriarchy. in patriarchy, the female is not equal with the male when decisions are made, especially regarding the larger clan or group, or what we have been calling nations, and now involves the world. I am the first co-secretary general, co-saviora. I outrank Kim Jong-un. I outrank Barack Obama. I outrank Mr. Putin. I outrank Mr. Netanyahu. I outrank Mr. Modi. Not that I don't love those fellows and their enabling wives. I love them. But I don't like what they've been doing to you because they don't work for you. They work for a bunch of old men huddling in boardrooms. who have enabling wives lolling around in resort type mansions, while the rest of you face global warming and nuclear annihilation based on their little family plan. It's called patriarchy. What I want for you is what ancient Atlantis had. For the longest survived, happiest civilization ever known to humanity, and you will get the extra benefit of having much more advanced technologies that will allow you to become Atlantis risen and allow us literally to open the stargates and have peaceful contact among many planets, which we will discover there may be humanity on them, and we also can terraform, instead of annihilating ourselves with wars and global warming. How's that for a plan? Sound good? Now, we do a little ceremony, which I'm going to do. Now, you should go to our website and look how this is all made possible. This is made possible by a very simple new law, which I, as Cosmic Christ, the predicted deliverer of new law, have set down. It is the new millennial golden rule, and it is at 5050now.wordpress.com. I am your great mother, and I am giving you that rule, and you better come up. Listen up, kiddies, come to the table and eat up. Eat up, enjoy, digest, understand that new law. It's 5050now.wordpress.com. At the upper right corner, the new millennial golden rule. It makes genderism yesterday. It makes humanity, female and male in partnership, today, tomorrow, and in fact, retroactively resurrects the past and the people who lived in the past. That's the miraculous thing about this that you don't understand, but I do. And some people who have written science fiction have had a clue that the souls of this planet that lived reasonably good lives do not die. They are transported to another place in the universe, and they are waiting for you and me to figure out how to do parity and make it work. So go to 5050now.wordpress.com and you can see how it works. We're going to do our ceremony quickly because we've done it twice already today, but this is so important. We honor so many of we honor all the Shekinah of the world, all of them. Your Shekinah of all the families to the beginning of time. I'm talking about billions of women. I'm talking about billions of women who were treated as second-class citizens ever since Atlantis was gone. Ever since Atlantis was gone, they were demonized. They couldn't make the decisions with the men. They were enslaved very often. If they weren't enslaved, they were
seduced, and then, like Hillary Clinton, cuckolded, okay? They were played with by their husbands. The husbands played around. They couldn't keep their peckers in their pants. And they also were busy killing each other a lot too, these guys. And you know what? The women went along with it because they accepted patriarchy. Why do people accept patriarchy? That's the big question. Why do people accept it? Why do women accept it? It's obviously against them. Why do so many women begin to perpetuate it? Because it affects their self-esteem. And once you have lowered self-esteem, your thinking patterns degrade. And you put up with things done not only toward yourself, but toward other women that you shouldn't put up with. So go to 5050now.wordpress.com, read, especially during these months of January and February, We All Have a Dream under the sermon sections, the New Millennial Gold, We All Have a Dream to Make Reality Now, and scroll down further to the section on grassroots congresses, courts, and assemblies, and read the All Among the Representatives, you, and you. And we also have a consciousness currency gallery, which we really have to add some more of our more recent editions to, but there's a lot in there already. Under the area of your guide to your infinite wealth, and scroll down and you'll see the Miriam and Tom Lambert Payne and Susan B. Anthony Consciousness Currency Gallery. And most importantly, scroll down to the section of Judging Patriarchy and find the, I'm going to make it larger on the website so everybody can see it, the every good girl and boycott of television and patriarchally controlled, corporately controlled internet. Okay? Now, I'm not completely boycotting the internet because I need it. And if I'm not here, you'll all fall apart. So I have to be here, and Google better let keep me on here or the whole world will die. I'm not kidding. I'm a cosmic Christ. You really need me. Okay? So, but right now, go to those sections of the website and enjoy yourself. And I'm going to do this ceremony, and all the people who I am referring to in this ceremony and who are pictured in the screenshots I'm going to show you are among the representatives of the divine democracy of Atlantis Risen that we have already begun and has been functioning for 2 years under my intercession. I passed the laws. I have already passed the laws. We have a solar Marshall Plan. We have outlawed war. And we have made the right decisions already. We've done it. Okay, I do it on your behalf. You'll catch up with me and we'll all do it together. You'll do it in all your local global neighborhoods. Here's our ceremony. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and every one, as soon as possible. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and every one, as soon as possible. Now, I want to apologize to you. Part of the reason the world's such a mess was that I didn't figure this out earlier, and I took a very conventional life path. When I was younger, in my 20s and 30s, I was very eager to get married, and I kept trying to find the right guy. And I was rejected by lots of guys who I was actually twice as smart as, but that was why I was rejected. They kind of figured it out that I was going to be a docile person. I also was, like many American women, quite father hungry or boy hungry. I had grown up in a home where my father was mostly away at work, like most people. And I was kind of hungry for the male partner, too hungry. And I put up with crap that I shouldn't have, like most women do. And now I know that that was all a wrong path. The right path for me was the path I have now found, and I know who I am. A descendant of Atlantis and a descendant of Mariam of Magdala and Jesus of Nazareth, whose purpose is to say to you that female and male are equally anointed, that what they do is equally invaluable, and that our society has lost sight of that and is a warlike and confused chaos of society with a lot of negativity occurring in it because we have not counted the female properly. So we did the beginning. The light is on all our hearts, and hugs and love to all, both in each and every one. Okay, and the budding, marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers. Okay, and now we do. This is very important. This is more important than we realize in our society and don't talk enough about. Our television doesn't talk about it at all. Our mass media doesn't talk about breastfeeding. Breastfeeding on cue. Breastfeeding that builds an emotional empathy that starts at birth and actually before birth, but is very much present when the baby is breastfeeding and the mother is responding with love to the baby. And the entire family supports this, and the father makes it comfortable and happy and recognizes what his wife and his baby are doing and occasionally hugs them while they're doing it and becomes an active assistant at times and also holds the baby from time to time too. But the breast milk and the breast experience for a baby is very, very important. And it's where we learn the pleasure of being in the company of another person. It's the ultimate important bond that makes you human. Your bondedness toward other people. So we drink to the milk of human kindness, and that's why we should call it the Milky Way, our galaxy, for all, both, and each and every one as soon as possible, representing all, both, and each and every one as soon as possible. And we also drink and reclaim an enlightened, loving, living planet of water, with water, pure water, not all polluted and globally warmed into deserts, desertification. We drink to the water of enlightened, loving, living planets that we will sustain and reclaim and sustain our Earth and all our Earths to be past, present, and future via the new millennial golden rule. We drink on behalf of all, both, and each and every one as soon as possible. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together for all, both, in each and every one as soon as possible, starting with our spring birthdays coming right up, but remembering and integrating with them our autumnal spring birthdays, because our southern hemisphere and northern hemispheres have those in reverse, like a yin-yang symbol, and we have to remember both, and remember the eternal spring of all young people and all people that we will rediscover with the new millennial golden rule, all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, past, present, and future together, of all our generations, going back to the beginning of time that we can remember on this planet, and then connecting it in our minds to our future on all the planets. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together. And let me say something about name days. We had Zivilla and Rasa Jimbudas on us, and she was telling us that in Europe, name days are more important than birthdays. What binds people together in their society is more important than the individuality. Isn't that interesting? You need a balance of both. But we in North America, most people never even heard of name days. It's a good idea. I think we ought to incorporate it in the lives of everybody. Okay, and now we'll show our consciousness currencies. And go to the section of the website on your infinite wealth, and you'll see how to make these. You can print out any of the ones that are there. We have hundreds of them, of famous and less famous women and youth and men who supported gender parity. There were many in various times of the human story, but not enough. So now we have to make it everyone. That's what's going to make every female and male who advocates parity and does something seriously about it a cosmic Christ. And here are consciousness currencies. And here we have our own family tree. Now, we always say the names of Harriet and Ray and Clara and Antoinette and Marie and Grandma Popper and Ritz and Rose and Precious Antoinette and Grandma Popper and Dorothy and Lynn. Now, these women also had sisters, and we have them pictured, some of them a little bit smaller than the women themselves, because some of these sisters right now are not getting what sisterhood is all about. And we want to encourage them to come to these ceremonies and know that they are remembered. But they are remembered. We are naming them in our hearts. And we do name them in contact. We make contact with them so they know that they are important and that they were important to their sisters, and their sisters should have been more important to them. Okay? That's what we have to get through to people. Don't screw with your sister. Don't screw with your sister Kazinas. Don't alienate and neglect to have relationships among your family circle among women. And that's what most Americans are doing. And women that grew up as colleagues and students together, they're also ignoring each other in North America. The land mass gives them some excuse. They're geographically separated. But yeah, ladies, we have telephones. You know how to keep in touch. This isn't that hard. Let's do it. And now you have these kind of video chats. You can have these great gatherings. And so here's all our generations, our past generations of women pictured here. We include all of them. All of the women that ever lived back to the beginning of time. They were all underrepresented and undervalued. We are, you know, even the ones who are against each other and turned against each other, like our Jackie, who turned against the children of her sister. They were undervalued. She needs to be revalued higher than she is. She's worth more than the men in her family, and she doesn't realize it. She's trying to live through them. That's a problem. When women don't realize their own value, they try to live through the work of men, and it doesn't work. And we do this current generations of women. Here they are. Here are the current generations, and also their children, our children. They're all our children in the next generations. Even if they're not your own children, you're an auntie or a great-grandmother of different kids. Make yourself a clan mother. All women should feel like clan mothers and gather in a group as clan mothers to protect the entire family tree of youth, female and male, age 37 and younger, and past, present, and future, and especially loved group, but no more loved than their mothers. Their mothers and their sisters, their mother's sisters, and Kazinas are very equally important. And once we have that, we have the Eleusis mysteries, the Eleusinian mysteries revealed. When you do this in your local community, then you have the beginning of Atlantis risen. That's it. That is Atlantis risen. Okay, and we have specific people that are in our family tree who we have been cut off from by the processes of patriarchy that have harmed them and lowered their achievements, or let's say not lowered them, slowed them. And we want these people to catch up to where they would be if they weren't living under patriarchy. So we give them special extra hugs and kisses. And again, it's focusing on the mother's and the daughter's relationship, particularly important, and passing on and understanding how that is important to next generations, female and male. And we'll go back and do our big, large groupings. More kisses. Now, these people have been asked to be co-hostesses and co-hosts. Also on that tree is Anna Marie. Her picture is there, and Ma Patricia's also are on that tree. They have co-hosted, and we of course imply Rasa and Zivilia and Dana, their other sister. They're all, and of their mother, Marija Jabutas, she's included. All women are included, famous, unfamous, but we want some famous ones, and we're going to be getting some famous ones to come and co-host these broadcasts, because then you might pay a little bit more attention to your own value if you see someone who you already recognize as having done something worthwhile, and then you'll say, gee, I know I do too. I do something worthwhile too. And your self-esteem will return, ladies, and you'll stop letting a bunch of old men make decisions for you and destroy your world because you're afraid of yourself. Okay? That's not good. So, let's see. We did our cakes, and we'll do our start fresh. We'll start fresh. Our clear bowl of fruit, and in this bowl also are world globes and white wrapped in gold chocolates to celebrate the new millennial golden rule, the sweetness of life that we can all have. And then we like to remind people to watch that film that was Mary Poppins, because Mary Poppins is very much a divine feminine fairy tale. It is about women struggling for their equal rights and respect. It is about teaching respect for women to children, and it is about teaching respect for women and children to men. It is about teaching men that life is not about making money, but their relationships with their women and their children of their families, and that family focuses mostly on the nuclear family of a wife and children. But real men have real sisters, they have real cousinas, and they need to respect them all, and especially their mothers. And when they do that, they are not lesser for it, they are greater. And that is the key to eternal life for both genders, because it is the breast milk that is flowing through the connection to the mother that keeps you baby young, keeps that holy baby child in you always ready to learn, always genius, always genius. So just like you were when you were a baby, because all babies are geniuses. Think of what a baby takes in those first two or 3 years. You keep that pattern of pace of learning throughout your life because you're celebrating your estrogen and your eternal feminine, you're going to be a genius. Okay? That's the truth. Now, I'm not putting down men, and men, if you look carefully at our consciousness currencies, are included in the pictures. The men of our family are included, but they have advised me through their spiritual connection to me through the universe that they want to step back. They want to take a step back so that the women can come forward and we can get out of patriarchy. And when the women have come forward and their youth can practice an egalitarian society, then the older men can come back in as full partners. We'll open up the stargates and be one big, happy, universal family, heavens on all the earths. Isn't that a plan? I can do it for you. I'm the cosmic Christ. And so it's very simple. It's like I'm talking to you like I'm a mama, mother goose, telling you a fairy tale that's true. This is a true fairy tale. Your apotheosis, your becoming equinox true cues, comes from giving up patriarchy, putting it behind you, and choosing parity instead. And the new millennial golden rule will make it easy for every neighborhood on earth to do that, to make the decisions that will also make the infrastructure of the neighborhood easier to maintain it, particularly the use of solar energy instead of energy that you have to pay out to a couple of old patriarchs constantly, and eventually develop neighborhood Wi-Fi, so you're not simply shelling out for no reason to a bunch of old male patriarchs and their enabling wives in their lollygagging mansions. No, we don't want that. You want eternal life for everyone. And let me tell you, this 1% must be very bored in all their mansions. They got a mansion over here and a mansion over here and a mansion over here. And the wives spend their time decorating and redecorating. It's incredibly boring. They could be having great interactions with women all around the world. Instead, they're worrying about how much to pay the decorator. It's a dull life. We need to give these women a better way. We don't want the wives of Biffs. We want the wives of the egalitarian men of Back to the Future. Okay, we love you all, and you can come and visit our website. It's at 5050now.wordpress.com. We're just going to let you look at the screenshot of all our first families, including my own very famous family who's going to start coming broadcasting real soon. We're going to have them run their broadcasts. You're going to meet them. And here they are. Okay. There you go. I won't say there you go. There we come. There we come. And we'll see you in the next broadcast in a few hours. Love you all. Namaste. Mitakuye oyasin, mitakuye koseviral, kongs pax, ko pax culture, ba'ava l'chaim, shalom, salam, salam, shalom. Do your best, said Lyric, ciao, pace, sayonara, chop chop. You name the culture, we have it, and we all say, love and live eternally young, longest eternally young, forever, eternally, and prosper everyone and all.